Hi, I'm CJ Leach, and I always think that it's interesting when you apply for a job that you get a referral. You have to give referral sources so that like the other people can get to know you, but you don't get that many referral sources from the company. So I actually have two videos that from two of our providers who are giving feedback, Sam and Mark, who have been with us for quite some time, and they can give you some feedback about who we are and what we believe in and some of the benefits of working for us. And then we also have a document that's a referral for us, and as we move forward we hope to get more of them so that you can get an idea of who we are. But I have my daughter here, Athena, and I feel like she's probably a good gauge of who we are and who what it's like to work for me. Athena, what's it like to work for Daddy?
Do nothing.
Do nothing? Does Daddy make you do nothing? No, I make you do chores. How's it working for Daddy?
I'm doing chores.
Uh-huh, and so am I fair?
No.
No, I'm not fair at all. Am I friendly?
Yes.
Oh, that's good, thank you. Are you a hard worker?
Yep.
You know I like hard workers. Is your room clean? Who cleaned it?
Me.
Okay. Well, is there anything else that you think that people should know if they come to work for me?
Asking for help.
Yeah, that I'm going to be there if they need help. Okay, anything else?
And also, being brave.
Being brave? Oh yeah, I like brave people, for sure. Okay. Well, is there anything else that you would like the people to know?
Being happy.
Mm-hmm. Being happy. Is that important?
Uh-huh.
I agree. All right, can I get big hugs?
Uh-huh.
Okay. All right. Well, you've heard it from Athena. She cleans her room, and it's fair. I'm not fair, actually, is what she said. All right. Well, if you want to work with us, please check out these other referrals and recommendations. Get to know different people. If you have contacts with us, that's great. We also have meetup groups, so this is a good way to come and like meet us in a sideways way. They're for all therapists in the community, so you can come, you can visit, you can get to know us and part of our community, whether or not it be for our poetry group or our D&D group or our mystery group. We're forming new groups all the time, so we're definitely open, and if you want to work with us, that's a good way to get to know us personally before you actually come to work with us professionally if you so choose. All right, thank you and have a great day. Bye.
For me, what they do is they always hear my concerns and everything I'm like advocating for, and they help me move it forward. I think to me, it's complete autonomy. They let me do my job. They don't hover over me. And if I have goals, ambitions, they try to help me obtain them.
Yeah, there's a lot of flexibility within counseling professionals to grow into who I want to be as a therapist, and to create my own schedule so that I can grow personally too, and in areas besides being a therapist. So I think it supports self-care, it supports wellness, and it allows me to be flexible and to learn what my needs are. And just having a support too from CJ and the rest of the team has been really nice, figuring out billing and all of that. It's very streamlined and flexible.
I've always done like a corporate hospital settings before this, like huge companies. I think I used the word autonomy already, but the autonomy to kind of choose my schedule or what works for me, the flexibility I think is fantastic. Availability of office space for me has always been great because I jump between the Cary office and the North Raleigh office, and the communication, but as long there's always availability. So if I want to work an extra longer, coming an hour earlier, it's never been an issue.
Benefits for sure is having the ability to do telehealth or in person, having that choice. And also, like I said, again, like creating my own schedule is really a big highlight for me, because most of my time at CP, I was a student as well. And so it was really nice that, trying to coordinate all my schedules, CP wasn't one that I was worried about. I knew that could be on my own timeline.
Talking with someone like the admin side, I've never done the admin side. I still don't. But having more conversations with the billing team about what they're looking for, where in the past it was like some foreign department that I never had to talk to. So it's nice to know how that process works, or even talking with the owners about like the process and how they're trying to grow. I feel like I'm in some of the conversations, even if they're just telling me about it. I feel like I'm in the conversations, which helps me, I think, grow individually, but like on my own, because just like bigger scale, but also as a professional, because like, how does this ship maneuver? How do we do this? What makes it work? And then it also like empowers me to help with the process instead of like just stay in your box. Like I feel like it's really easy and really encouraged to get out of your box and grow any way you want.
Yeah, it's definitely helped me grow into I would say, competent telehealth therapist. I think before I was iffy about it. I was skeptical about how telehealth could be beneficial, and COVID, I think, forced us into this new era of counseling where we all need to be telehealth compliant and competent. And so it allowed me to grow in that area and feel more comfortable and learn how to transition what my in-person experience looks like in a telehealth platform.
I would say it's like from the leadership, how understanding they are. And I've always felt heard, appreciated, and understood kind of falls in there too. And I feel like they do their best to see what I see, even if they don't agree with me on all things. They don't minimize, brush me aside. There's always a conversation about it. But a lot of times we are aligning, and it's the ultimate goal is, in this profession, in my opinion, is to make the community that you work with a better place. And I fully believe that that's what CP is trying to do, and that's what they're accomplishing step by step. And it's how can we make this city and then other cities as we grow better communities?
Well, I would have to say I already have. And things that I usually tell people about it is I think it's an especially great place for new counselors coming on who just got licensed because of the split, the 80-20 split. You're not going to find that anywhere else. So, you're supported financially, mentally, and emotionally, I think, at this place. And, you can create your own schedule and make it be what you need it to be for your life. And I think CJ has always been about, you're not just a therapist, you're a therapist and a person. And so that's been really helpful for me. And that's usually, I really just share my personal experiences.
I think I wish I knew more detail, like how billing works. How when I see somebody this week, how does everything get to whatever insurance agency they use? How long does that normally take? Part like how long does it take to get paid, but also like when we do hit snags, if we hit them, how do we work through them? So I guess more of the billing side, because like I said, that was a foreign department that I never touched. And it's the more I've learned, I think the more beneficial it's been for me, like meeting with new clients and how to help that process out, or how to have a honest conversation like, hey, we may not have back from insurance for 3 or 4 weeks. That's normal.
A couple things I wish I would have known before is kind of a lot more about insurance, I think, because I was and I am an independent contractor. I think everything is streamlined, but it is really helpful for you to come in and know a little bit more about insurance, I think, than I did. I came from a center where we didn't bill insurance, so I was very new to that concept. I think that another piece would be that there's community, but you have to create space for that. So I know that there is a consultation group and there's a lot of things going on. And you have the availability to be detached or attached to the system as much as you want it to be.
I think who we are as a team and how, at least everybody that I have met and continue to get to know, it is a job, but also we're all trying to make this a better place, and how the company is constantly growing and constantly bringing in new, I think benefits is the right word. So I think it's a great company as is, but I know it's going to continue to grow in whether it's the new YMCA thing we have or whatever else is around the corner that is just going to make being an employee here better than any other place I've ever worked. And let's be honest, the split's pretty amazing too. So yeah, I think those are two big factors. We're constantly growing and they're constantly trying to make employees happier, give them more benefits, more things because we work here. And then the split that we get is, I've never heard anything like it. So it's phenomenal.
Yeah, it's so funny. I just had a meeting with someone who was in the onboarding process who used to be one of my supervisees, and some, I think advice that I gave them was to look at everyone else's prices, how they market themselves, look at what, ask questions about, hey, what's your sliding scale look like? Don't just try and figure all of that out on your own, because that could be really overwhelming. And to go to the consultation group so you can have some type of support, and to have a person to check in with. And I think it was helpful for them to know me, and me being there for over a year, I kind of know what the processes look like. But I think a big one that I told them is don't be afraid to ask questions of anybody. I've never had anybody be like, oh, I'm not going to answer your questions. So yeah, I would say those couple of points.
Where I've worked before, a hospital setting or just really large companies, I always felt like I was square peg, square hole. And here, like I said, I feel like my voice is heard in giving feedback to how I think we can grow, or little things. It doesn't matter what it is, like having soda in the refrigerator, small things, but like I'm a part of the conversation when I want to be. I feel appreciated constantly, and not, again, just like a square peg, square hole, like just continue to do your job. And I think that's fantastic. Like I have lots of ideas. They may not all be good, but I have them, and it's a great place to express them.
Actually came on during COVID. And so I had to learn all the ropes and start doing counseling completely online. So even in a completely virtual world, I was able to do it and have the support there. And so now most of my caseload is still telehealth, but I have a few that are transitioning into in-person now. I really love CJ's idea about kind of spreading out and doing things for the community. And I'm definitely a point person for Raleigh Founded, but I think there needs to be more people to back up those different areas. Like, because, I was primarily in school and I was doing a lot. I couldn't focus a lot of time on outreach to the community and things like that. But amongst all of the glorious ideas he has, like really zoning in on a few that are like our mission, our primary mission, and to get more than a few people behind it, like maybe have a whole team behind outreach, and maybe committees. I think that if, there was a system where somebody who's been on the team for a while can mentor a person in for the first 6 months or so while onboarding is taking place. And also, I know it's hard with insurance, but hopefully not making it 6 months or something of onboarding, a shorter time span, which I've heard things are changing. So my onboarding experience, I think It was definitely organized because I feel like CJ did his best in creating these documents to walk through and him to help you through that process. I would say that it was a little overwhelming completely doing that on my own during COVID, not really meeting anybody. And so I found myself emailing CJ like 3 times a day and being like, well, I don't really know how to do this. I don't know what this means. And him being like, hey, don't worry, email me 3 times a day if you need to, which was really nice. But I would say it is pretty overwhelming.
I wanted to say thank you very much for watching all these different reviews. And a couple of updates I wanted to say. We took a lot of Sam's great feedback. She is a wonderful provider and she has done a lot for our company. And one of the things that I constantly say is it's okay to make mistakes. We just need to learn from them. And we have always been learning from the onboarding process, and we know that it's been a beast. We took it from a 6-month process and got it down to a 3-month process. Then we got it down to a 1-month process. Now we can actually do it in 1 day. So we've learned from a lot of these things, and we've realized that there's stuff that has to happen in a very specific order to make it happen in 1 day. But even if it does happen in 1 day, that doesn't mean credentialing with the insurance companies happens in 1 day. That's something that is up to them, and it's kind of a process that we work through. But we work together and we get people on board so they can see folks out of network sooner, and so that they can get to practicing and being able to help out in the community a lot more. From Sam's feedback, we also have started a onboarding committee, and so Casey will be our onboarding buddy to work with that, and she is fantastic, and we're working on developing more committees and groups to help with a lot of stuff. And there's actually a lot of content that you'll see in the About Us page where you can learn about our different committees that we have, like the steering committee, our consulting groups, the different groups that we're trying to do. And we are trying to build more of a community. And so we are growing from everything. And we always appreciate the feedback. And one of the things that Sam said about asking questions, and she had 3 questions a day. I love that, because then I know where I can actually improve a lot of the different things that people have questions about. One of the things that my mom said a long time ago was she was in a business management class. It was a super hard class. And she was asking questions constantly. And she went to the professor and she said, hey, I think maybe I should drop your class because clearly I'm the only person who has questions. And the professor said, no, please keep asking those questions. When you ask the question, there's about a dozen people behind you every time who have a sigh of relief on their face because they didn't ask the question, but they really need to know the answer. And so every time somebody asks me a question, I come back and I say, not only can I answer that question for you, but can I answer that question for everybody? And that's something really important that I want you to learn from us, is that we're all going to go through different things. We're all going to make mistakes as therapists, and we're going to learn from them. But can we all learn together? Can we pull all of our resources together to learn faster or feel supported or not make the same mistakes? And the answer is yes. And that's really what Counseling Professionals is about. We want the opportunity to be the best versions of ourselves, and we want our clients to be the best versions of themselves. And so if we can learn from our life experiences, if we can learn from counseling theory, if we can learn from research to help our clients to be able to learn faster, to be able to learn from other people's mistakes, to know options that they didn't know that they had, that's how we improve our clients' lives. And that's how we approach this company as well. And that's the community that we have, so that we can be the best versions of ourselves, so that we can grow and help others. And that's how we do improve the world. So thank you so much for watching these reviews. And if you have any other questions, like I said, perfectly happy with you bringing them to me. And going through all of this, right? Doing your due diligence, doing your homework, determining whether or not we're the best fit for you. So if you'd like to work with us, we would love to hear from you. Have a great day, and thank you.